Yes, kids, there was once a comedy about a nun. Oh, and she could fly, too. I can explain. And yes, I'll tell you how it ended. Paul here. Please like and subscribe. Yep, today we're diving into the whimsical world of the Flying Nun. You heard correctly. A nun who flies, starring the delightful Sally Field. This show's a classic blend of comedy, faith, and aerodynamics. It kept audiences entertained from 1967 all the way up to 1970. So buckle up, or should I say strap on your flying habit, as we take off into the skies of San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Flying Nun was a sitcom that followed the adventures of Sister Bertrille, a novice nun at the convent San Tanco in Puerto Rico. Thanks to her lightweight frame and the aerodynamic design of her coronet, that's that fancy nun hat, she could catch the wind and soar through the air. Yeah, like a kite. I know you're wondering, what did she actually look like flying? Well, get ready. Here you go. Now, to be fair, this clip was from her very first flight. There was a lot less turbulence later on. All right, anyway, talk about taking your vows to new heights, huh? The show was developed after Sally Field's previous series, Gidget, was canceled. And the producers were eager to keep her on the air, or up in the air, so to speak. The series first took flight on September 7, 1967, and ran for 3 seasons, concluding on April 3rd, 1970. Yeah, it was initially a hit, soaring high in the ratings, but eventually faced stiff competition from other popular shows at the time, like Hawaii Five-0, and the great Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour, which led to its cancellation. Sister Bertrille, played by Sally Field, was the heart and soul of the show by far. Her flying antics often got her in all kinds of trouble, much to the chagrin of the stern but caring Reverend Mother Superior, played by Madeline Sherwood. The convent was also home to Sister Jacqueline, played by Marge Redmond, who provided a more philosophical perspective. Then there was Sister Sixto, played by Shelley Morrison, who brought a touch of humor with her broken English. Then you had Carlos Ramirez. He was the charming casino owner who often found himself entangled in Sister Bertrille's airborne escapades and antics. All right, how did this great show of an idea end? As I said, despite its initial success, the Flying Nun couldn't maintain its altitude in the ratings. The novelty of a flying nun started to wear off, and Sally Field herself was eager to pursue more serious roles. The show ended after 3 seasons, with the final episode airing on April 3rd, 1970. Now, Sally Field later reflected on the experience as a challenging but important step in her career, despite the ridicule the show's premise often got from critics and some fans alike. The series finale, well, it didn't provide a real great send-off. She wasn't grounded or anything like that, but it rather continued with the lighthearted and whimsical tone that defined the show. Yeah, Sister Bertrille's adventures wrapped up without any dramatic hoopla or conclusions, leaving the convent and its quirky inhabitants to continue their lives off-screen. Some trivia for you. The title of the show, it was originally going to be called The 15th Pelican. Yeah, of course, why not? But producers opted for the more marketable The Flying Nun. Imagine trying to sell that first title to a network executive. Or the second one, really. Initially, Field found the concept ridiculous and only accepted the role after being advised that it might be her last chance in show business. Right. To avoid offending Catholics, the show had an advisor from the National Catholic Office for Radio and Television, and that ensured that Sister Bertrille's flights of fancy didn't ruffle too many feathers. Okay. Despite its comedic premise, the show earned Marge Redmond an Emmy nomination for her role as Sister Jacqueline. She was really good. All right, and there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the Flying Nun. Now, come on, whether you watched it for the laughs, the life lessons, or just to see Sally Field defy gravity with that big hat, huh? This show remains a beloved piece of TV history. Did you ever watch it? Please let me know in the comments. Tell me what you thought of it. And thanks for joining me on this nostalgic flight. And hey, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives or flights into your favorite classic shows.